Hi, I'm Janae Creates. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget your pencil or any drawing utensils. Let's draw together. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to be doing or creating some OCs. I'll explain their lore a little bit. Not really get too much into it because I might make a comic book or anything about that. But I will not troll you and explain a lot about my characters and what their goals and things are like. I have 4 OCs to explain, and I have character sheet kind of things I draw, and I also have one final illustration with all 4 of them in it. I'm so excited to draw and create some OCs with you, so let's get on to the video. So the first thing I do to create a character is go on a random character trait generator. I usually use tumblers. So the first character or OC I make is Nora. The cheese isn't really a big deal, but I know she's very cluttery and disorganized. She's very imaginative and very creative, and she also is very bubbly. But she is like a perfectionist and has this problem on putting other people on the pedestal. So let's get into Nora. Nora is a human witch. She is an amazing broom rider, which, as you see later on in the drawing, that her broom is absolutely beautiful. I try to draw her broom pretty good. Her hat changed directions due to the weather. Her magic powers, or her witchcraft kind of thing, I haven't gotten too much into this, is very advanced. She's very great at it. Her parents wanted her to go to this college called Stephen Hall, or Stephen Hall, I haven't figured that part out either, to focus on her magic. But she really doesn't want to do that. She wants to go to college to major in literature and English. She wants to write. She wants to be a novelist. That's what she always wanted to do when she was younger. She's always been in love with that. However, her parents don't really want that for her. Her parents are very, 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 very known for their magic. Nora. I would say she is the most fashionable out of the group as well. As I said, Nora isn't very interested in her magic. However, it just comes out. She doesn't even think about it because she's so used to practicing it with her family. Nora, she's quite creative. She fell in love with writing when she was younger. She wrote books. She has thousands of books in her room. She has written many books that just have not been published because she's scared of her family's opinion. She has 22 novels actually. As I said, that her parents do not support her dream to be a novelist. They throw her journals, everything away, and just don't allow her really to push her creative side that really could help her with her magic as well. Her mom and dad are very abusive verbally, and that's why she has that scar on her nose. As she has all these high expectations because her brother is a genius. Her brother Samuel pretty much can do no wrong, and she has to live up to that expectation, and unfortunately she doesn't, because she isn't a genius. She's a normal girl. I do change her hair color quite a bit of times. It turns out to be like a fawn or browner color, blondish brown. I really wanted to dig in the greens and neutral browns in her color palette. Nora is known for being very kind to others and being helpful and nice and really just pushing herself to be a good person. However, it doesn't mean she's the smartest. She doesn't do the smartest choices, and she kind of just bottles everything up till she can't really deal with it anymore, which eventually makes her go to college and ends up lying to her family members about why she actually is in college. Stephen Hall's college is very known for its giant diversity of people and magic using. Their magic using is amazing, and so is all their other educational programs. Nora had to go to college and picked Stephen's college as a 20-year-old girl and really doesn't listen to her parents and moves on. And hopefully she can write and publish all her novels. But that's all I have for Nora. Next on our Tumblr sheet is that it's Fern. Fern really doesn't go with the first two, but the last four is pretty much her. She's a very detailed person, never misses anything. She's always usually very nice clothes on. She is very royal. She's really respected amongst her peers. She's pretty detached though from people and really doesn't like to be influenced by others and tries to create her own path. She doesn't really enjoy other people's company other than her roommates. Oh my gosh, Fern. She is not a self-insertion, but she's like a friend self-insertion. Is that thing, like, she's very based on like some of my friends. Let's get into her backstory, I guess. Fern was a tiny child her whole life, and she was bullied for it till she got a growth spurt, which made her a little bit too tall, so the kids in her school would still bully her. She lives with her grandmother in the country, but really nothing really affects her because she was bullied so hard in her elementary years. So she pretty much just does the chores that her grandmother asks her to do all the time, and she pretty much just does that. That's how she's lived for her whole life. Her grandmother saved a lot of money to have her go to her dream school, which is Stevens Hall. They all have that in common. They all want to go to Stevens Hall. Stevens Hall is a famous college. Everybody wants to go. As I don't know if I said this, but Fern is an elf. Most elves are like 5'2" at most, but she is like 6'4". She's a very tall elf. She's very independent, and she really is focused on herself. And she's always been able to do something like that. But since Stephen College is known for its grouping and putting people together and trying to build their diversity, she's having a harder time to adapt to the college that she chose. However, Fern is the smartest in her class and probably will graduate as valedictorian. Fern is always in the gossip, never actually causing the gossip, but always hearing about it, always on her phone. She's pretty fashionable, but she doesn't like buying new clothes. She likes to, like her pants, they're patched jeans. Khaki jeans. But I didn't explain we explained her species, that she's an elf. However, she is a witch. Not all of them are witches, but they all have some type of magic form. Fern is a sun witch. Well, not a sun witch, but a garden witch. She wants to go to college for agriculture. And she likes to grow plants just like her grandma. Her grandma and her both work on the garden of their little tiny town that they live in, which ends up making ends meet for them because they are the biggest gardening agricultural place in their town. However, their town is very tiny, so it's not as much money as most people would think. As I said, Fern is a garden elf. Not really too much of a witch. I might have said that she is a witch, which I probably did. But she's just more of a garden elf, but she has those magical properties that she goes to Stevens Hall for. She goes to college for agricultural purposes, however, because she really wants to continue her grandma's garden. On to the next character. Next up is my problematic character. My character that I really just cannot find a full background or really a gif on her personality because it's not really there. But Faye. Faye was a victim of a magic accident. She's a Fury, or Furie. Like a fairy, but a little bit to the extreme. She does a lot of research. She's a very smart person, but she doesn't talk. She's also kind of a germaphobe, and she wears gloves all the time. But in the drawing I made, she's not wearing any gloves because she's at home. Alright, Faye. Faye is the size of your pinky, and I'm not kidding. She is very tiny. I first had her name as Italia, but it kind of didn't suit her as much, and I feel like Faye sounds prettier. So here's a little bit background of Faye, but can't give too much. Most Furies or fairies are bought and sold and over again. Faye was no exception. Faye was not bought till 13 years ago by the Novan family, which the Novans are known for their wolf and transformation magic. It has nothing to do with Zeli. Yeah, nothing to do with Zeli, but it's very interesting at the same time. Faye was bought again by the Wiggins family, which Nora Wiggins, that's Nora's name anyways. Her main palette is blue, but for right now, for some reason I'm using pink. For some reason it's going to change to blue soon. But Faye was bought in by the Wiggins family, by Mr. Wiggins, Nora's dad, as a gift to his daughter, Nora. However, Nora wasn't okay with that because that is, it seems like human trafficking, or you're buying something, but that's just how Mr. Wiggins works. He bought the only exception, or the only way she can free Faye is by going to college and focusing on her magic. But Nora wants to, as we came up with, she wants to continue her writing. She wants to become an amazing writer. Faye is nonverbal. She has to have gloves on, and she also has personality disorders known as DID, dissociated more stuff. I don't want to get into controversy or anything because I feel like I might not explain it as good as it probably could be on Google. But there's not much background about Faye yet, but she's very quiet and tiny and very interesting. She doesn't take her glasses off ever, and that's pretty much it. Let's go to Zeli. So I have drawn Zeli before. For my last video, I draw Zeli all the time. She is one of my OCs that I've had for a while. She's very childlike, detractible. She's very, very loud. However, in the drawing, she's not very, really loud. She is very good at sports. So let's go on to Zeli. Zeli is a great basketball player, and here's some background on her. Zeli grew up in a normal town, but she had to hide her shape-shifting magic. It's very uncommon for people to have shape-shifting magic. It's very cool when you're older, but in elementary you kind of are weird in high school and stuff. So she hid that part of herself, but she is a siren. That's her main form. As the one I'm drawing now is her siren form. She prefers that form. She became a really good basketball player, which I explained. She's an amazing basketball player, but she wanted to go to college, but not for her basketball skills. She wanted to go for her smartness and her academic reason. However, she's not that smart, so she gets a scholarship for basketball at, let's guess, Stephen Hall. Her grades are okay. She joined the basketball team, and she wanted to do biochemical engineering and really focusing on how can she really change her body. That sounds really weird, but she is very, she likes to experiment on herself and really understand. She really wants to understand what she can change about herself and how she can really shapeshift. Yeah, pretty much that's it. However, here's some more part about Zeli. Some more parts. When she does shapeshift, because she shapeshifts really freaking often, she ends up getting very fatigued and very sick. She's always sick or very unwell. Her skin tone also changes due to her emotions, so turning red or green, but green's her main because that's how she just walks around. That's how the siren form works. They're green. Sirens are green. Okay, how did you enjoy me babbling on about these characters and how they don't really make sense? Yep, I completely understand. I really don't understand my characters either. And that's what this video is really about, is how my OCs, they're awesome, but how I make them actually into a story. So I'm going to talk about their story during the next speed paint. So the story starts out with Nora, Faye, Fern, and Zeli all, walking into their room. They're like trying to meet each other, understand each other. However, they all get this really odd feeling about each other, and they really don't understand what the flip. Why are these guys my roommates? These are weird. They're all different from different backgrounds, and they're really just trying to pass the time and really graduate college because they're all freshmen in college in their college dorms, right? Super cool. Stephen Hall is the most prestigious, famous college pretty much there ever is, in at least in my world. Ignore the little sitting sketch of Faye because I erase her and I draw her on a different canvas and I paste. And it's pretty much just how this group of people from different backgrounds, different species, just figure out how to get along and become best friends. So this is pretty much like the A group of the school. Like they're the best friends. Funny fact, Zeli is not fashionable. She just wears shorts and a t-shirt all the time. I'm not sure if that is fashion now, but I know fashion a little bit, and it's a problem. Yeah. Anywho, I am going to talk a little about the art piece so I could put my own thoughts together on paper about the story itself. Pretty much they're sitting on the couch and they're discussing and talking. Well, not really talking. Nora's pretty oblivious of everything. She's just messing around with the magic and reading her books that she read. Well, I mean, writing in her book and like using the magic to write in it. Zeli is squeezing her I Heart Hot Dad's pillow, which I found very funny, and I feel like it's very silly for its own reason. Fern is sitting on the couch on her phone because she's constantly gossiping. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then Faye, which you don't see, she ends up sitting on the couch, on the tiny part of the couch because she is a pinky size. I did want to get a little heart to heart with you guys that I don't have many OCs, and I do want to know any suggestions about adding more lore to my OCs. I guess this isn't more heart to heart, but really ask for suggestions and feedback because I honestly am terrible at coming up with OCs. I love doing character designs. However, coming up with a personality has always been on the harder part of the side because I don't really talk to people. I mean, I do, but I don't like talking to people. It's kind of a mixture kind of thing. Social anxiety will get you sometimes. But yeah, so let me know if you have any feedback or anything. We're on the line art stage. I really did not like Fern's line art for a little bit. It ended up getting better at the end or towards the end. As you can see, I was trying to figure out a name for the like drawing or anything, like trying to figure out a name for what we're gonna call the lore. I ended up calling it Stephen Hall's. It's of their school. I'm pretty freaking proud of my I Heart Dad's pillow. Not gonna lie, never been more proud of myself for a drawing than today with I Heart Dad's pillow. Yeah, Yepers. I Heart Hot Dads. Anyways, I have a dad. We're not going to talk about this. So we're going to get into more of the background reasons and like just world building a little bit. So I'm going to put who's the most important, like what species is the most important to the least important, blah, 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 right? Humans are right in the middle. So Nora is right in the middle. Nora is not the main character, but I just have a lot of world building on. I already have a lot of building for her because I already have a reason why she's in college. And her goal is to really she kind of wants to save the world with her books and really open people's eyes, right? That's her goal for the world. So in this world, there are many species that pretty much just get along. Humans get along with the elves pretty well, and the sirens and shapeshifters get along. However, the shapeshifters and humans don't really get along. Humans are known as being really ignorant or very stupid in this world. Well, ignorant and stupid are not really the same thing, but they're kind of similar. And Zeli has met some humans that kind of didn't treat her really well in school because they all hated shapeshifters. So she's pretty not really okay with Nora. So Nora and Zeli aren't the bestest friends, but in the end they do become, best friends. But whatever, we're gonna talk about that later. But Faye doesn't talk, but she gets along with Fern very well. Faye and Fern are like the two F's, like they're F-U, the two F's of the floor. And Faye doesn't talk, she uses more sign language, or she uses her magic more. However, Fern is a talker. Fern likes talking lots of shit. Who said anything? Fern is she's very popular, and she's just very herself, And I don't know how to explain anymore than Fern is a pick me girl. There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Pretty much this whole story and thought kind of process thing of this whole world building is just having these four people really just learn how to get along and grow. And I feel like we need characters, at least for our channel. It's not just my channel, it's our channel, guys. That can grow a friendship and also grow in my style. My style does change very often. Well, it doesn't change, but it just gets, as I get older, I improve. So I keep it, my art style changes. Here I am shading the couch. Yeah, then I paste a little Faye. Faye's super cute. Oh, and let me explain. I just remembered that they all have this type of accessory, some type of accessory that really like kind of makes them themselves. We'll say Faye's wings glow, and they're very, very fast, like dragonfly wings. Nora's hat changes due to the weather, which I explained earlier. Also, her shoes. All her shoes make her really, really tall, because she is a shorter witch. Fern can hear really, really far with her ears, because her elf ears are really pointy, blah, 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 right? But then I had to think about how Zeli has really long ears. So, who really knows? Right now, we're going to figure that out later. But as Zeli's skin changes color due to her emotions, and she's also a shapeshifter, so she can change to any species, but it causes her to be very exhausted. But that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments, like actually, don't be afraid to comment, but let me know what I can and cannot, like what you want to know about my OCs and the characters, and ask me questions so I know what like their favorite color is. Majority of them are very natural colors because they're very natural people, but still, like, I would like, just let me know. But that's pretty much it. Here are the 4 characters. Give me a round of applause. I'm kidding. And then here is the last, here's the illustration that we did today, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and here are some of my socials. They're all Janae Creates, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you for creating with me. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.